August 15, 2021, witnessed the startling fall of Kabul, Afghanistan's heart and soul, to the tenacious grip of the Taliban, with a ruthless insurgent offensive that had simmered since May 2021. With their victory, the Taliban were about to have their hands on a small but formidable air force. Amidst the chaos of exodus that followed, however, one particular airplane would escape their grasp, an intrepid A-29 Super Tucano, a Brazilian-made turboprop light attack aircraft, known for its versatility and resilience in the toughest environments around the world, made a desperate climb out of the country. The A-29 Super Tucano is often used as a powerful low-flying weapon in the role of counterinsurgency. With a top speed of approximately 590 kilometers per hour, or around 370 miles per hour, and an armament that includes a wide range of weapons, from air-to-air missiles to 50-caliber machine guns to the GBU-58 Paveway II laser-guided bomb, the Super Tucano is one of the fiercest aircraft in its class. Yet, this intrepid A-29 Super Tucano was now on the run from the very insurgent it was built to fight, and it would meet an unexpected fate in a neighboring land. As speculation swirled and Uzbek authorities provided ambiguous explanations, whispers surfaced that the crash might have been no accident. A bird in the hand. During the mid-1980s, Embraer, the Brazilian aircraft manufacturer, embarked on a project known as the Short Tucano, which later evolved into the EMB-312 G1. Halfway through the decade, the prototype completed its maiden flight, but the Brazilian Air Force showed no interest in its development. Nevertheless, Embraer turned the setback into an opportunity by drawing valuable insights from its aircraft's combat deployment in Peru and Venezuela. Motivated by this experience, the company persisted with its research and development endeavors, exploring a trainer version and a helicopter attack variant, ominously dubbed the Helicopter Killer. The EMB-312H concept originated from an unsuccessful bid for the U.S. military's Joint Primary Attack Training System program. In September 1991, the proof-of-concept prototype successfully performed its inaugural flight. This modified aircraft boasted enhancements such as a fuselage extension to maintain its center of gravity and stability, a reinforced airframe, a pressurized cockpit, and an elongated nose to accommodate a more powerful PT-6A-67R engine. Two additional prototypes were constructed in 1993, featuring the PT-6A-68A engine. Around the same time, the Brazilian government required a light attack aircraft for its Amazon surveillance system, intended to work in tandem with existing R-99A and R-99B aircraft, monitoring illegal flights and patrolling the nation's borders. Thus, the Brazilian Air Force launched the ALX project, which sought a military trainer to replace the aging Embraer EMB-326GB Savante. The new aircraft had to be well suited for the Amazon region's challenging conditions, encompassing high temperatures, humidity, precipitation, and low military threat levels. It also needed to be a turboprop plane with extended range capabilities, capable of operating in any weather, day and night, and able to land on short airfields with limited infrastructure. In August 1995, Embraer secured a $50 million contract from the Brazilian Ministry of Aeronautics to develop the ALX. Two EMB-312Hs were adapted to serve as ALX prototypes, conducting their initial flights in 1996 and 1997. The first production-configured ALX made its maiden flight on June 2, 1999, followed by the second prototype, flying as a two-seater configuration on October 22, 1999. In recognition of the significant advancements and modifications, the type was renamed the EMB-314 Super Tucano. Supersize. The Super Tucano stood out from its predecessor, the EMB-312 Tucano trainer aircraft. Agile and powerful, it boasted a more robust 1,600 horsepower engine, a strengthened airframe, and reinforced landing gear to endure higher G-loads and carry heavier loads. Its menacing features included Kevlar armor protection and two 50-caliber machine guns mounted on its wings. Additionally, the aircraft was capable of carrying various ordnance on 5 weapon hardpoints, equipped with a night vision goggle-compatible glass cockpit with user-friendly HOTAS controls, and boasted provisions for advanced systems like a data link, video camera and recorder, and forward-looking infrared. The Super Tucano was further fortified with chaff and flare dispensers, missile approach warning receiver systems, radar warning receivers, and 0-0 ejection seats for enhanced safety. Even the canopy was designed with a sturdy windshield capable of withstanding bird strikes at high speeds. To give the ALX its formidable mission avionics, Embraer partnered with Elbit Systems in 1996, equipping it with state-of-the-art mission computers, heads-up displays, navigation systems, and store management systems. The Super Tucano proved its reliability and performance through rigorous testing and continuous upgrades. Measuring 11.38 meters in length with an 11.14-meter wingspan and a maximum takeoff weight of 5,400 kilograms, this agile aircraft packed a mighty punch. It could swiftly cover distances of up to 300 nautical miles, making it perfect for urban attacks and close combat situations. As for speed, it reached up to 367 miles per hour, with an impressive range of up to 720 nautical miles. Armed with a 20mm cannon, 12 7mm machine guns, and the capacity to carry multiple 7.62mm miniguns, the Super Tucano was a force to be reckoned with. Its arsenal included 70mm rockets, AIM-9L Sidewinder and AIM-65 Maverick missiles, and precision-guided bombs, ensuring versatility in any mission. Keeping watch. The A-29's true brilliance shone in counterinsurgency operations, providing invaluable close air support for ground troops. With pinpoint accuracy, it protected soldiers below, swooping in like a guardian angel, thanks to real-time intelligence data from overhead assets acting as intelligence nodes. Recognized and trusted by nations worldwide, the A-29 Super Tucano became an essential asset for safeguarding troops and supporting critical operations. Chile, Colombia, Indonesia, the Philippines, and many others relied on its might and precision. Upon introduction into the Brazilian Air Force Service, the type began one of its most important missions, border patrol. Through the late 2000s, it played a crucial role in the CIVAM program, which aimed to counter drug trafficking activities. In one instance, on June 3, 2009, two Brazilian Air Force A-29s, guided by an Embraer E-99 aircraft, intercepted a Cessna U-206G coming from Bolivia near Alta Floresta de Oeste. After following proper procedures, one of the A-29s fired a warning shot from its machine guns, prompting the Cessna to follow the A-29s to Cacoal Airport. This incident marked the first use of powers granted under the Shoot-Down Act, which allowed the downing of illegal flights. On inspection, they found 176 kilograms of pure cocaine base paste on board the Cessna, enough to produce almost a ton of cocaine, and the two occupants were arrested with the help of federal police. By 2011, Brazil started a series of military operations called Operation Agatha to address several illegal activities happening along its borders with neighboring countries, namely drug trafficking, illegal mining, logging, and wildlife trafficking. First, they focused on the border with Colombia and used military aircraft like A-29s to destroy illegal airstrips used by criminals. The successful operation led to a second phase, this time concentrated on the borders with Uruguay, Argentina, and Paraguay, including the Triple Frontier area. The military used A-29s and upgraded Northrop F-5 Tiger II F-5EMs to intercept 33 aircraft, resulting in the seizure of narcotics, arrests of criminals, and the destruction of illegal airstrips. Finally, Operation Agatha III replicated the effective measure along the borders with Bolivia, Peru, and Paraguay. This was the largest coordinated action involving the Army, Navy, and Air Force, attempting to tackle illegal trafficking and organized crime along a vast border area of almost 7,000 kilometers. Thanks to these operations, Brazil saw a significant increase in drug seizures, validating the effectiveness of the A-29s. No boundaries. In 2003, the A-29 took to the skies as a counterinsurgency aircraft, dealing with threats with few air defenses. It wasn't interested in dominating the skies or engaging in grand dogfights. Instead, it found its calling in being a reliable companion to special operations forces, offering air support in less dangerous situations. Designed for special missions like helping ground troops and carrying out light attacks in tough environments, the Super Tucano's fame and popularity knew no boundaries. In no time, it found its way to the United States through a partnership with the Sierra Nevada Corporation, where it was produced. The United States Air Force had its eyes on the A-29 for a while. They were searching for an affordable manned aircraft capable of close air support and tactical intelligence missions. The A-29 seemed like the perfect fit for the job. In the 2010s, the Air Force considered the A-29 for a program called Light Attack and Armed Reconnaissance, or LAAR, where they wanted around 100 examples. Unfortunately, budget constraints caused the program to be put on hold. But fate had other plans for the A-29. In 2017, the Air Force launched the Light Attack Experiment, OAX, to evaluate off-the-shelf aircraft for close air support and intelligence capabilities. Despite a tragic accident during the evaluation, the A-29 caught the Air Force's attention. They chose 2 AT-6Bs and 3 A-29s, using the latter to support Special Operations Forces and provide advice in combat aviation. The A-29's popularity spread even further. The U.S. Special Operations Command, or U.S. SOCOM, was interested in replacing its fleet of U-28A aircraft with enhanced armed overwatch planes. However, funding was delayed until further study and justification were presented. But the A-29's journey didn't end there. Countries from all over the world, 13 in total, embraced this nimble aircraft and made it a part of their air forces. And more plans and deliveries were in the works, with 3 A-29s scheduled for delivery in 2021 to assist the critical missions of the U.S. Special Operations Command. Setting records. In 2011, a competition was held in the United States to select a light attack aircraft for a contract known as the U.S. Light Air Support Contract. 2 contenders were the Super Tucano and the Hawker Beechcraft AT-6B Texan II. After careful evaluation, the Super Tucano was declared the winner and awarded the contract. However, in 2012, the contract was cancelled because Hawker Beechcraft appealed the decision. They claimed that their proposal had been disqualified unfairly during the selection process. As a result, the competition had to be re-evaluated. Fortunately for the Super Tucano, it won the contract again in 2013. Upon the terms of the contract, the U.S. government purchased 20 Super Tucano light attack aircraft to be used by the Afghan Air Force, or AAF. The goal was to enhance the AAF's capabilities and provide them with close air support aircraft, as they previously had only attack helicopters for such missions. In January 2016, the first 4 Super Tucanos arrived in Afghanistan at the Hamid Karzai International Airport. 4 more were expected to follow before the end of the year. To prepare Afghan pilots for flying these aircraft, they underwent training at Moody Air Force Base in Georgia under the guidance of the 81st Fighter Squadron. By 2018, the AAF was planning to have 20 A-29 Super Tucanos in its fleet. These aircraft were acquired through a $427 million contract with Sierra Nevada Corporation and Embraer, with the manufacturing taking place at Embraer's facility located at Jacksonville International Airport in Florida. The introduction of the A-29 Super Tucanos significantly bolstered the capabilities of the Afghan Air Force. In 2017 alone, the AAF carried out around 2,000 airstrike sorties, averaging about 40 missions per week. In October of that year, they set a new record, with over 80 missions conducted in a single week. The AAF's A-29s became even more potent when they successfully deployed a GBU-58 Paveway II laser-guided bomb during a combat operation against the Taliban in March 2018. This marked the first time the Afghan Air Force had used a laser-guided weapon, showcasing their air support missions' increased effectiveness and precision. Take it back. In August 2021, Afghanistan was facing a significant threat from the Taliban as they launched an offensive and aimed to take control of the country. This period was known as the 2021 Taliban Offensive, and it ultimately led to the fall of Kabul. Amidst this turmoil, some Afghan pilots chose to flee the country, taking an unknown number of aircraft with them. Among them were several Super Tucanos, one of which crashed in Uzbekistan's Surxondarya region. Fortunately, the 2 pilots on board managed to eject from the plane using parachutes and landed safely. At first, there was confusion surrounding the incident. Reports suggested that Uzbekistan's air defenses might have shot down the Afghan Air Force A-29. However, the Prosecutor General's office in Uzbekistan released a statement clarifying that the crash occurred due to a mid-air collision between the Afghan military plane and a MiG-29 belonging to the Uzbekistan Air Force. However, shortly after the initial statement, the Uzbekistan authorities retracted their claim about the mid-air collision, leaving the actual cause of the crash somewhat uncertain. Meanwhile, during the chaotic situation in Afghanistan, the Taliban seized control of the Mazar-e-Sharif International Airport. In the process, they captured at least 1 Super Tucano. 2 years later, on the other side of the world, Embraer made an exciting announcement: the introduction of a cutting-edge variant of the Super Tucano known as the A-29N. This remarkable aircraft was specifically tailored to meet the requirements of NATO nations, raising the bar for modern aviation technology. The A-29N was thoughtfully designed to integrate essential NATO-specific equipment and data link communications, empowering seamless collaboration between allied forces. Moreover, the aircraft's innovative feature of single-pilot operation capabilities not only increased its efficiency, but also reduced the need for additional personnel, streamlining operations. In an impressive leap forward, the training simulators for the A-29N incorporated state-of-the-art virtual reality, augmented reality, and mixed reality technology to better prepare pilots for the current battlefield.